Generic greetings, and welcome back to Airships Conquer the Skies once again. Today's beverage is peppermint tea. So there's been a lot of suggestions for different things to build and stuff, and it's just us messing around here in the builder and stuff. But there's been a bit of an accusation as well, and that is that I make strange designs that don't often work. And that is true, but it's not also entirely accurate, because I do make several designs that are very, very good. As you can see, we've got a boatload of stuff here. If we just go down, we can see that there's a couple of things that do seem to work. That is very good at what it is, what it's for, which is bombarding. Carrington is useless, admittedly. The Chop Fightington was actually quite good. The Clusterington was okay, admittedly useless. Don't think Workington is aptly named, to say the least. The Doom Ship is very situational, but can work. The Drone Ship is very, very good. The Grape Brickington is quite good. The Grape Shop mini thing is quite good. As you can see, we've got some half-decent vessels here. That thing there, that is just really, really, really expensive. The maintenance is really high, which is why I actually lost the campaign, as people have been pointing out. But anyway, yeah, we got Reactington, obviously the best things, but one of the better things we've ever made is this thing, the Zeppelin, the Zeppington Mark II, the version 2, and it's a high-level bomber. It goes very high, so it can only be shot by flak, realistically. Nothing can get to it, and then it drops bombs from a height, and a lot of people have said, why do we make a sequel to that, so like another really, really, really big bomber? And that's not a bad design, that's not a bad idea, but I really want to try something a bit different. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a high-level vessel, so it's got a very, very high service steering. I'm aiming for about 200 meters minimum, and probably not very well armoured, but it will have a lot of gunnage. So speaking of gunnage, let's go to Doc Peabody's weapons, scroll down, and we can see we've got a triple gun turret. There you go, and we're going to have a ventral one, and we will have a, well, ventral, flip, and ventral. So that's going to be the front and back of it like that, and in between all of these we will be able to put, let me just put that in here just because we can. We're going to minimise that down and then go over to the WF weapon pods, and you can see we've got light cannon pods, and we've got one that says up top and bottom side. We're going to go for the bottom one, and we're going to put them cannons all the way down the bottom. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. Now, the reason I'm not going to have any more than that is because I think it would be a little bit unwieldy if we have far too many. So that's going to be our weapon pods. That's going to be the main chassis of it, or the weapon system. So it's going to go very, very high and then just shoot below instead of dropping bombs. We do have other bomb options. There's actually a couple of mods where they have like super heavy bombs, which I do want to try out. And I think there's actually atomic bomb mod, which is just insane. But also, I believe there's a barrel bomb in here. It's like, where would it be? Sea weapons? It's somewhere. There's one of them, which is, it is essentially a weapon that just drops flaming barrels, so when it hits, it will not only do damage, but it also set them on fire, which is very good. We might try that at some point, but for the time being, we're going to go with this. So that's going to be our weapons there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Job done. Okay. So then we'll go over to, I think we will have some structural stuff, and the structural stuff will be, well, we could have an elevator going up and down, but I don't think we strictly need that just yet. What we do need though is probably, well, I actually probably need an elevator on either side. In fact, what I'll do is I'll have an elevator going to there, elevator going to there, and then I'll have an escalator that goes along this side, and it fits in perfectly. So yeah, there we go. So that's going to be our gun section, and then obviously we need somewhere to store the ammo. So what I'll do is I'll probably still be in structural actually. We want a fire door, so let's scroll down and see if we can find said door that prevents the fires. There it is. We'll put a fire door all the way along like so, and that should do us. But the problem with this is obviously it's adding a lot of weight, and also it means we don't really have good access to these escalators, but they're going to go up and down here, so it shouldn't be too bad. I'd rather, actually, you know what, no, let's get rid of that, because the whole point in this thing is it's very high altitude, so it shouldn't really be shot too much. He says that knowing that this is going to cripple the design if it ever gets shot once, but well, let's see how it goes. So there's the there's that put in there. We'll go over to the resources, and we've got a big ammo store, and we've got a, what's that? That's the ammo store and a big ammo store. Well, a big ammo store seems quite useful. Actually, you know what we're going to do? We are going to put the the ammo like so. I don't know how many we'll need. How much does that actually have? It says, for those who beat the drums of war, beat them... Those who beat the drums of war, beat them for those who can't, apparently. It says ammo storage 185, and how many units is this taken? Clip size 10 rounds, reload time 1 second, and... Oh, okay, right. So, it's gonna... Yeah, we're gonna empty this thing. We do need a lot more big ammo stores, so it's going to be that, to be quite honest with you. I think that's going to be the ammo of choice. So, yeah, we'll have that. And then we will go back to... I really don't like the idea of this thing blowing up because, well, that's what we're trying to prevent, obviously. But what I'm trying to say is that having these right next to each other, if you look at the overlay here, you can see if we've got explosion damage, it's going to cripple itself if we do that. So let's go down to the structural once more and into the fire door. Where is the fire door? There it is. And if you put the fire door like that, it will actually... I'll just blow up. Everything will just blow up anywhere. So it's not going to stop the explosions, this thing. So you know what? I will just not bother with it. I'll not bother with it, and I'll just put them next to stuff. And if it goes up, then it goes up, and we'll just have to deal with it. So we'll just drop that down. Get rid of those, like so, and then we'll have one in there, and in there, and in there, and then we could put one in the center, but we're not going to bother because we don't really need it. Okay, so what we will have in the center is a fire point, because I think it's quite useful to have a fire point. Actually, you know what? We'll probably have triple fire point. No, actually, no, we don't need triple fire point. We do not need triple fire points. We're going to pull that up. We'll say that, and don't need an escalator there because it's quite honestly a bit silly. We'll go down to the... Will it be in resources? Yeah, there's a fire hydrant. What's the difference? Fire hydrant, water capacity is a lot more. Yeah, we'll have a fire hydrant in there, I think, is the way to go. Obviously, it'll have it on the outside, but I don't really care too much. That is a huge machine shop for repairing. We do want somewhere to repair it, but quite honestly, like I said, the whole point in this thing is to avoid getting shot in the first place, although that is often easier said than done. So that is now in, and we will just put some standard basic corridors up here, like so, and we'll put them in like that, and then we've got a bit up the top here, which actually we could fit if we go back to resources and machine shop. We could fit a machine shop in there, which is about the right size because I don't really want any bigger than that. So that works out. So we've got a machine shop. That's all connected up, and the ladders go straight up, so that looks fairly decent. Okay, so we can see it says recommended crew is 36. We haven't got any command bridges. We haven't got any coal stores. So I reckon we're going to be about on the 50 level of crew, I think. So a large crew quarters will give us 40 sailors. It is indeed quite large. So we could put one of those in here, like that, and that will give us 40 sailors. And if we need to have that, we could put a couple more sailors in, like so. That'll give a total of... That's far too many. 52 air sailors there. That'll be job done. We'll put a sick bay just above that. Obviously on the front we could have a bridge. Now the question is, do I want a large bridge? A large bridge would be very nice. We'd have to put it at the back though. So instead what I'm going to do is get rid of that, put that at the back, so all of our command stuff is back there. Actually, no, we're not going to do that because we also need somewhere to keep this in the air, which is something I have not yet put in. And you know what? That is actually okay. That's fine. We'll have a large... Where is it? A large... Do I want a large bridge or just a bridge? Sick bay's in there, that's fine. Quarters, large bridge, which will allow me to issue orders within how many seconds? Doesn't say. Has 5 crew members as well, though. But that's not too bad. Then we've got a little bit of storage at the front there. So what are we missing out? Well, we don't have a targeting computator, but I don't think we want a computator. I think that's about right. So we need more supply hatches, no propulsion, and 2 heavy, which, well, we were aware of because we've got nothing to keep this in the air. We're going to have a double approach to the keeping it in the air problem, and that'll be suspendium with coal, or probably actually we'll use oil. Although that does go up very, very badly if it gets shot. And then we'll have the standard balloon bit at the top to give it extra lift. So, what else do we want on the front? I don't really know. Large cargo, no, that's far too big. Refined oil store is too close to the bridge for my liking. We will come back to that because we don't really need to worry about it for now. So let's just go over to lift and we can see all the stuff we've got. We've got an enhancer. We haven't got an enhancer actually. We got a giant suspendium chamber. Good grief, look at the size of that thing. Helicopter blades, which, oh, that could be interesting. We haven't used helicopter blades. Large helicopter blades like so. So if we had 2 of those, that would keep this thing up afloat. That is service ceiling of 110 meters. Oh, should we make it like a heli carrier? That would be cool. Large suspendium chamber, if we had 3 of those, would be service ceiling of 277 meters. So why would you not use large suspendium chambers over the helicopter blades? Helicopter blades would be 1, 2, 3, and that would give us 184 meters. So I don't know why you would ever bother using anything else. So I'm going to use the suspendium chambers, the large suspendium chambers. The problem with the large ones, though, as you can see, is that it does require you to have the top completely clear, which is not good. We haven't got an enhancer. I know that makes coffee, and having it next to the bridge would make sense, but no. Helicopter blades, let's have a quick look. Helicopter blades is fix an issue with your design. Helicopter blades, it is requires a unit of coal every 14 seconds to crew, whereas the large suspendium chamber is a unit of coal every 10 seconds to crew members. So the helicopter blades are also heavier as well. So even though the helicopter blades give you, let's see, they don't give us as much lift. It's 4,000 versus 5,000. They weigh more, which means you need more of them anyway. And also they only use, well, it's every 10 seconds versus 14 seconds. So there's not much in it for what you're actually getting. So quite honestly, how much would a suspendium chamber be? We could just put suspendium chambers in it. So we could have a suspendium chamber, big coal store. That's 122 meters. Like I say, I want a minimum of 200. But the problem with that is that I have to have it so, these things here, these things, it's not 200 including these, it's 200 excluding these, so these would be extra. Or maybe if we go for 150, excluding those, although I'm really liking the idea of just filling the entire top floor with these. These would be really, really cool if I did that. Should we do that? Probably not. I don't think it would be too decent if we fill the entire top deck with it. Could do that, and then have the balloons on either side. But that's only 84 meters for that, so that's fairly terrible. Oh, they're the small ones. Oh, yes, okay. So we'd have to use the large ones, which would be something like that. And that would give us 301 meters, but it also looks cool. Yeah, you know what? We're going to do that. We're going to do that. So we're going to use these large ones. These are the large helicopter blades. We'll lift them up like so, and we'll just get rid of all of those. So we are going to go off the design. We're not going to use the blimp approach with these large suspendium dust tanks. We could do if we wanted to. We can actually put one on either side like so, like that, and then you connect the struts up. That isn't actually a bad idea because the game doesn't model like things snapping and tension and stuff. So you could just put one little connector and that would be fine, but obviously it means if the connector gets shut, the whole thing falls out. Well, these just blow up, but you get the idea. We can do this. Okay, so we'll go over back to the resources tab. We'll go down to coal store and we can put some coal store on there, or we can go for refined oil store. Oil store would be slightly better for our needs because it does give you more. It does give you more oil. We'll have another fire hydrant there, and then we will go for this time. We definitely, because we've got so much oil, I think actually, how much oil does that get? It is, capacity is 128, and these require coal every 14 seconds. So this is going to stay in the air quite a long time if it's only one unit. So we probably only need 2 of these, so we can probably shrink it down and do it like that. because there's no real reason to put the other stuff in there. So we'll go to, and what's the service ceiling? 278 meters. Recommended crew 60. Oh, recommended crew 62. We've only got 52. So what we'll have to do is get rid of that and then put 2 of those in the front. Job done. There you go. We're on to air sailors of 76. So we're already overpointed on the crew there, but it's no problem for us. We can manage that. Okay, so we will go to the structural tab, go down to the fire door, put a fire door so the coal doesn't burn like that, and then what we'll have to do is we will connect all these up. So I want a gap of 4 between the edges like this. It's going to be fairly large. Actually, do I want that? Without those, it's 200 meters. So that's not too bad. That's not teabag. We'll go over to... it's a teeth dryer. It's a plumber's estimate. What do we want to do? Let's think. What are we gonna armor this thing with? Currently, it's wood. Aluminium, not exactly the best thing for stopping stuff. Glass, same sort of deal. Tends to be a bit shattery unless it's reinforced. Steel armor would be very good, but if I fill this, I bet it hits the deck. Yep, 124 meters. That ain't good enough. Titanium, dense as hell, and oh no, apparently it's light. Well, it is. Okay, titanium could work. It's also very expensive. We also don't have any supply hatches. I should probably sort that out. Right. Okay. Dense wood armor. Minimalist paneling. No, we're not gonna. We're not doing changing rooms here. Aluminium, steel, layered armor, which is probably very good, but also very expensive. And yes, it's also very, very heavy. Heavy steel armor. What was my service ceiling go down to there? Ooh, 32 meters. Yeah, that's probably not something we're putting on here. Oh wait, it's definitely not. Reinforced wooden armor is 3 and 6. Titanium is probably the way to go. Okay, so we're going to go with the titanium. We're going to go over to the... Where would it be? It wouldn't be in structural, would it? Don't think it would be in structural. Oh, there's also no way to make it go forward, which is a slight issue. Needs more supply hatches, but it can't go forward. Oops. Okay, right, we can solve both problems by going to the propulsion. We've got engine pods that we could put on. He lies, we can't put any of those on. We've got large propeller, we've got propellers, we've got rocket engine, which would be fairly interesting. This would really make us go out and about, but I don't think we want that. Small heli blades, another rocket engine, a sail. We could put a sail on either side, but I don't think that's really the look we're after. We could simply do a propeller there, propeller flip to there, and then finally we want some supply hatches, which will go in the gaps that I've strategically left there, and I'll just search for supply hatches. There it is, and 1, 2, 3, 4, job done. It needs more supply hatches. Okay, so I'm going to do the easy way of doing this, then move that along to there. It's not called a supply hatch. I believe it is called something else. Well, it definitely is called something else. I just can't remember the name of it. And it is it a cargo door? Cargo. It is a cargo door. 1 and 2, and job done. Okay, so in terms of the armor, it's all armored up. There's all of the stuff pretty much sorted. Right, so we'll go for decoration. We're going to put in, if I could actually get out of the search function, we're going to put a nameplate on the. Well, we should put it on the in the middle. Yeah, why not? And we're going to name this the generic airship vessel or airborne vessel, and we'll have this as the ooh, good grief. What shall we call this? It is a bombarding. It's going to bombard, isn't it? It is a brick as well. It just looks like a... Well, it is just a cube with lots of guns pointing down. No. It's the Down Shottington. Okay, save the design. I think there should be another T in there somewhere, but whatever. Save the design. Save it, just make sure it is in there. Yes, okay. So we'll leave, we'll go to combat, and we will put it on a nice day, and we will add our airship. Airship will be obviously the Down Shottington. We'll put that in like so. As you can see, it is pretty decent, I believe. Then we'll add a building, and then we'll start putting in some buildings. Do I want to put some buildings in? Actually, no, we'll go for... I mean, this thing is overpointed, I think. I mean, it's... oh, yeah, it's nearly 7,000. So we'll go for airship. On the airship, we will have... well, let's not... Let's put a... What's the Zeppington service ceiling? 332 meters. So that can go higher than us, I believe, because we're only about 240, something like that. Okay. So what we're going to do is we'll put some stuff in that we know we can easily fight. Because I just want to see if this falls out of the sky in the first couple of minutes, then it's sort of pointless and we don't need to continue on and I can just delete this video. So we'll go for a land ship. Land ship, obviously the perfect thing to verse this would be that thing, Land Flackington. That's what we built that for. Gun towers is decent. Flame tank, yeah, that'll make a couple of those will make a good target, and they're already overpointed. But quite honestly, I don't really care because I don't think they can win this just because of because of what they've got. So we will say start the fight, and then we're going to start up immediately. We'll move this up to... Oh, the actually service ceiling is just above the spawn point. But there's all the shots coming in, as you can see. For some reason, that says no target, and I don't know why, because it should be able to go right far down. But either way, look at that. That is a lot of shots going in there. And I'm actually going to move this back over because, quite honestly, I think we'll be able to get one of these guns in. It did say it went forward and down, so these guns on the side are not doing anything at all. We might have to change those guns, these big guns here. What we'll do is we'll bring the design down a bit and see if we can get that main gun in while still shooting. Oh, looks like that's firing against something as well. This thing, see that? That did fire. It's firing... Oh, it's firing at those! Right, okay, fine. Oh, so it stops me getting flanked, that's for sure. These cannons on the bottom are going great guns. Look at that. They are tearing to pieces, this thing. I am also getting shot, which is suboptimal. What I'm going to do is move up, and I'm just going to get some height on them. So the ones on the side are not great. They are actually, at the moment, doing okay because they're shooting these little KVs there at the side. But I want them to be able to traverse from... whichever facing they're on, as well as direct down. So this is definitely going to get a version 2, assuming we make a version 2. Oh, good grief! We've lost one heli bit, and yeah, one heli bit's gone, and the other one is damaged. So we've actually we've lost over a third of our height. Oh, there's the other one breaking off, and oh my good grief, yep, that's what's happened. Yep, okay. So they've hit I believe they hit the fuel store. I think that was a fuel store they hit there. Okay. We'll leave the fight. They definitely won that one. Back over to a nice snowy day. We'll have a airship once again, and this time we're going to verse something that we know is going to be a bit more reasonable. And Down Shottington we'll put in. We'll go for a airship, and we'll have the Doom ship, which will go there. And they've got a little bit more points, so we'll add a land ship. They will have a Scorpion V2 because it does have flak, and also other things as well. That is about right, so we will start the fight. Immediately pause it. We'll move this over to there. It's going to be shooting that hopefully, and oh look, it's going straight over to the left. So they're already shooting me with their big Doom weapon, which is not very good. I am going to hopefully be able to go left. Already there's the artillery coming in, and it's taken out 2 of my helipads, which is not good at all. We're going to move. Oh nope, the thing's blowing up again. Okay, yeah, them fuel stores are not good. What we're going to have to do, we're going to have to make another version. And the other version, amendments are going to be extra armor specifically over those fuel stores, or we take them out completely and just put coal, because coal doesn't explode like that. Assuming it is the fuel. I don't know if it is the fuel. I'm just catching a quick glimpse of it. Okay, one more fight. Airship. So we'll go for the Doom Shippington on their side. We'll have a airship. The Down Shottington, we'll put them in there. And then we'll have a building on their side, which can be a Cubington, I believe, is about right pointed. Yeah, we're about right. Okay, we will start the fight. They're a little bit overpointed. So I am shooting there. Again, big super weapon, no death. And what I need to do, I think the amendments so far are figure out what makes this thing Death Star itself and blow up after one shot. The problem is that this bloody Doom ship, look, it's got the rocket engines on the side, so it's got so much thrust. Although I find it's got a lot of thrust and no vector because it's all over the place. Sometimes, either way, I am shooting it. It's sort of tearing into it, which is quite good. We're just going to keep moving left and right, keeping above this because, well, actually, there's no reason to keep above it. Oh, look at that! Look, see that? That is on fire. That is the fuel star on fire. So it did take a shot and didn't die, which is always good. I'm glad we can say that. It's faring a little bit better than it is previously. Oh, there is the bridge being taken out. There is something else just exploded. I don't know what it was. Bridge is gone. We've just lost another heli section. There's another heli section. We've just landed on a suspendium rock, but that doesn't stop us apparently. And there's the secondary explosion. It's the ammo store. Yeah, the ammo store's going up. Okay, right. So, we know what we need to do. We need to make some revisions. I don't think this is a go back to the drawing board type deal. I think what it would be is something like open the design, down Shottington. I think what we'd have to do is armor up these sections here. This is where we have the big ammo store. Obviously, we're getting some explosions, secondary explosions. As soon as one goes off, it then chain reacts and blows the whole thing up. So we could actually remove these ones or jiggle them about a little bit. We would probably want to add, ideally, a bigger bridge. I know we actually got a large bridge, so the bridge, that's the best bridge we can have, because the commands, I think, was a bit slow, but that's the best bridge we can have. It goes left and right okay, there's no problem there. These guns, poor arc, to be fair, it does show me the arc there, but when I took them off, the reason I thought it was something, oop, that's the wrong section. The reason because I thought it was, it would be able to shoot down is because of that. You can see it has to be free to the right and down, but it's not. It's just the way that it's placed. So we're going to alter that. So we change that weapon, maybe even remove them. Removing them would add another 18 meters to our service ceiling. Plus, obviously, it would also be about a grand cheaper, maybe. So it's not too bad. It's currently call it 7 grand. Removing them, you're saving about 650 quid. So it's not too bad. Either way, there's some revisions to be made there, but what is a proof of concept really here and has shown that it can work is all of these light cannons. I think if we made this again, I wouldn't make it as big. Remove these cannons from the side. I'd make it longer. I'd probably make it another third longer, so 30 guns on the bottom, and make it very, very thin, so it's not as tall as this. Probably have a little individual ammo sections and just have it with the balloons. Don't have these things here. Or maybe not. We'll see. Probably maybe internal suspendium. And then it would be a lot cheaper. So that's a good proof of concept, I think, if nothing else. But I have enjoyed that immensely, trying that one out. I do like the high-level versions because obviously the whole point in the game is that it's airships, so you flying about is what you like to do, and taking advantage of all of that airspace above you is tactically a good decision for the most part, unless the opponent's got a boatload of flak, you understand. Either way, I hope you have enjoyed the build and the video. Thank you very much for watching. By all means, put comments in the comments for any build suggestions, etc. Thanks very much for watching. Once again, take care, and generic partings.